For centuries, we've looked up at the night sky and wondered if someone or something was looking back. Thousands of stars, millions of galaxies, an infinite cosmic expanse. And yet, only silence. Until one strange night in the summer of 1977, when Earth may have received a message from the stars. A signal, 72 seconds long, strong, clear, unexplained. It came and went without warning, and has never been heard again. This signal became one of the greatest astronomical mysteries in modern history. And it was given one unforgettable name, the WOW signal. But what was it, really? Was it a burst of energy from a distant star? A secret military transmission? Or something far more chilling? A message from an extraterrestrial intelligence? Today, we dive deep into the timeline, the theories, the investigations, and the eerie silence that followed. To understand the WOW signal, we first need to understand the era and the science that gave birth to it. The 1970s were a time of astronomical awakening. NASA had already sent humans to the moon. Satellites were orbiting Earth. The idea of alien life was no longer just the stuff of science fiction. It was a scientific possibility. Enter SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Founded on the principle that if intelligent life exists elsewhere, it might try to communicate, perhaps through radio waves. One of the earliest listening stations dedicated to this search was Ohio State University's Big Ear Radio Observatory. Built in the 1950s, Big Ear was massive. A fixed antenna the size of 3 football fields, silently scanning the cosmos for faint whispers. And in 1977, it heard something no one could explain. It was a routine night at the Big Ear. The telescope had been programmed to scan different sections of the sky, analyzing radio frequencies. Everything seemed normal, until the printout came. Back then, there were no digital screens or real-time alerts, just sheets of numbers and letters, spewed out line by an old computer system. That night, a volunteer astronomer named Jerry R. Emin was reviewing the data. He noticed something strange, an unusually strong radio signal, clear, sharp, and exactly within the narrow frequency that scientists believed aliens might use to communicate, the hydrogen line 1420.4556 MHz. Emin was stunned. So stunned, in fact, that he circled the sequence and scribbled a single word next to it. Wow! A moment of pure, stunned wonder. That word became the name of the signal, and that moment changed everything. The signal sequence itself was 6EQUJ5. It may look like gibberish, but it's a code for signal intensity. In simple terms, this wasn't a random blip. It started quiet, then surged, peaked, and faded away, exactly like you'd expect from a passing object or a deliberate transmission. The signal lasted exactly 72 seconds, which happened to be the maximum time Big Ear could observe any point in the sky. If the signal had continued, the telescope wouldn't have caught it. But during that window, something remarkable happened. And then nothing. No repeat, no second signal, silence. Scientists tried for months, years, to locate the signal again. But they never did. So what could it have been? Let's examine the theories, some logical, others a bit more unsettling. Theory 1, Earth-based interference. Maybe it was a signal from a passing satellite, plane, or even military equipment. But here's the problem: Big Ear was designed to ignore Earthbound signals, and none were recorded nearby that night. Theory 2, a natural cosmic source. Could it have been a pulsar, a quasar, a neutron star? Astronomers ruled this out. The signal didn't match the signature of any known celestial source. Theory 3, a reflection from Earth. Perhaps the signal bounced off space debris. But again, nothing matched the angle or timing. Which leaves us with, it matched the hydrogen frequency, a universal cosmic constant. It appeared only once. It was strong, steady, and eerily perfect. If someone or something was trying to get our attention, wouldn't they choose that exact frequency? Was this a deliberate broadcast? A greeting? A test? We may never know. After 1977, SETI scientists turned their instruments back to the same coordinates. They listened and listened. For decades. Nothing. No repeat signal. No anomaly. No response. The wow signal became a kind of ghost story in scientific circles. A reminder of how close we may have come to the impossible, and how quickly it slipped away. The wow signal seemed to come from the constellation Sagittarius, near the Chi Sagittarii star group. But Sagittarius is huge, full of stars, gas clouds, and cosmic noise. In 2012, astronomer Antonio Paris proposed a new theory, that the signal may have come from a pair of comets, 266P/Christensen and P/2008 Y2 Gibbs, which were passing through that region of space at the time. His theory stirred debate. Could the comets have emitted a natural radio signal? Possibly, but other astronomers weren't convinced. Comets had never produced such strong, clear signals before or since. In other words, it's a theory, but not an answer. Over 4 decades later, the wow signal remains one of astronomy's greatest mysteries. It has inspired documentaries, books, and even music. It's referenced in pop culture. It's printed on T-shirts. It's etched into plaques sent into space aboard probes. To this day, no one has fully explained it. And maybe that's what makes it so powerful. In a universe of silence, this signal was a whisper. A moment where science fiction brushed against scientific fact. Let's ask the unthinkable. What if it was a message? What would it mean for humanity? If we knew, undeniably, that someone else was out there, how would it change us? Would we panic? Would we unite? Or would we ignore it? Some argue the signal was too short to be meaningful. But others ask, what if we missed the message? What if we weren't listening closely enough? SETI has come a long way since 1977. Today, organizations like Breakthrough Listen are scanning the skies using advanced AI and global arrays of telescopes. Thousands of exoplanets have been discovered, some within the habitable zone. We're closer than ever to proving we're not alone. But still silence. Except, of course, for that one night. That one blip. That one impossible wow. Whether the wow signal was a fluke or a greeting, it remains one of the most tantalizing pieces of evidence in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. A cosmic, maybe. A mystery that refuses to fade. In the end, we may never know what it was. But it taught us one thing. Sometimes, in the vast silence of space, it only takes one word to echo across the universe. Wow.